السلام عليكم أبو عبد الله.
عليكم السلام.
شو رأيك؟
الله يرضى
كيف
عليك.
حالك؟
الله يرضى عليك.
شو أخبارك؟ I love
حبيبي.
the حلقة that you just gave us.
Really?
Yes.
What do you like about it?
Everything that you remind us of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of the sacrifices, the changes that people made before, after the ba'ath of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how they changed completely. Yani we struggle to change one habit. These people changed their lifestyle.
Recording?
Yeah.
Yes.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
السلام
وبركاته.
السلام عليكم. How are you doing? كيف حالك?
أوه ما شاء الله.
He just,
Wow.
yeah.
سبحان الله.
Yeah.
Where's my mic, man? ما شاء
Yeah,
الله.
you got only two. I can't have three. Sorry about that. Maybe
Cool.
next-
This is. Go ahead, keep talking.
So yeah, what
Are you guys
baffles
recording just?
Yeah, it was just, yeah. we
man,
were
this
just,
is just like I was telling him. We can even document the whole journey, which makes it even more authentic. People nowadays, they're craving authenticity. They're tired of TV shows. They're tired of
Right.
scripting stuff. They want
Right.
to see the real deal. They want to hear the thinking. They want to know your raw opinion. They don't want to have you filter it. Everything filter. Everything's filtered.
do you
nowadays.
know, with regard to the filters,
Mhm.
I became so, so much so that I became so disbelieving in somebody holding something in a khutbah or something and read from
Yeah.
it. If you I'm with like someone preparing, I'm with someone understanding, but if it does not reflect who you are, it don't go, find me قال ابن عباس وابن تيمية أو مش عارف مين وthis to impress me about how much knowledge you know about that you have read this and you have read that and you have read. Tell me in a raw term, what is it affecting you? What is this message is affecting you? The other part that I really dislike is when someone is talking to the people and he's talking to them from up down. That as if he, mashallah, has, oh, Allahu Akbar, I have made it, and I'm mastering of this hadith, and I'm mastering of this ayah, and the meaning, I am so good at it, and I'm up there. And you guys, I'm just telling it to you, so you rascal.
Why do you say that?
Huh?
I mean, why do you say that? I've never
No,
felt.
I'm saying you, I'm criticizing those
Yeah.
people who are in, and which is I've seen them. I've been around. I've been when you go back home, when you go around, and you've seen in the masajid, and even in some lectures. I mean, alhamdulillah, inshallah, it's becoming more authentic. But you see this attitude of up to down. You see like these shuyukh who, as
They feel
mashallah,
superior.
that they are just the fact that they are talking, or they have the big, I am having the ilm, I know what Ibn Taymiyyah said, and I know what Ibn Hazm said, and I know I read this book, and I read that book, and you don't read it, and you didn't read, and I'm just giving you a little bit of what I know, and I have made it, and you don't. And because I'm making, sometimes I feel like they are in themselves in a delusional way, and they are doing disservice to themselves, and they are doing disservice to the other people.
Okay.
I feel I definitely.
What's your advice to those
I might,
people?
no, I'm not. It's not my issue of them advising me or not. I'm trying to advise myself,
Okay.
at least to feel like I am one of everybody. I am struggling. I am doing the same struggle. You may succeed in this hadith better than me. You may succeed in this ayah far better than me. I'm hoping, but your success and me reminding you, I'm hoping by me falling short that you will become the hasana for me, because you're practicing better than me.
Yeah.
Because the Prophet ﷺ says, رب مبلغ أوعى له من سامع. It is definitely, he says, بلغوا عني ولا إياي. Deliver about me even one ayah, because someone who is being delivered to is better than the one who has heard it firsthand. And I like that attitude from every dua, to have that attitude.
Yeah.
Humble yourself, ya akhi. Don't make yourself like, mashallah, just the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a little bit of ilm, which is a good thing. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you are not sincere to that ilm and you start using that to give yourself a pedestal over people, your ilm is not serving you. Your ilm is really harming you, because you're going to be asked.
Yeah.
And we have seen some of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ have mentioned it. But I just want to mention that I'm liking what the way that you have. I want to learn a little bit about your journey about this in this area, and how did you get in that area? And I see I swear sometimes I feel like ما شاء الله هذا توفيق من رب العالمين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you tawfiq. Ameen. And to all of us, ya Rabbi. Sorry, Amir, because I just don't want to feel like as I'm not looking at you because I'm, like, God forbid, I'm ignoring you. Please, I mean, don't
Sorry,
feel
I'm busy with work.
Okay.
Well, I feel, first of all, I want to document my journey. I want to build something that it's called a personal brand. Like, people, who am I?
Okay.
Like, I'm not just a person that's gonna die and not have an effect on the world. I want to.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I want to have a positive impact, and the reason why I came to you is because if I don't come to you and if you don't help me with this, someone else might, but they might not have good knowledge. They might not be a Muslim. They might be someone else that pulls me into a different direction, a different influence. So I wanted to come with you as a Muslim, because there's not much people that I know. I mean, I could try to get in touch with Sheikh Walid and Sheikh Ibrahim and try to nag over them and try to connect with them, but I just prefer coming here a little bit, my own personal opinion. And I see a lot of the West posting a lot of content, so much content. People are consuming content like never before. The industry is becoming a $250 billion industry in the next year. So that people are consuming content. You're either a consumer or you're a producer. So you can't be a mix of both. You're either producing content and benefit people and helping people, or you're just consuming, laying in bed all day long, scrolling on your phone. And that's how the majority of people are. And that's how the younger generation are getting influenced. They're not getting their information from alim. They're not getting information. I'm saying most people, they're getting either their deen and their information from social media. And to be honest with you, the algorithm is so smart. Let's say if you are a Muslim person, the algorithm will send you Muslim content. If you are a kafir, the algorithm is going to send you whatever content you would subscribe to or you like. And because of that, I have gotten a lot of Muslim content where I've learned so much about Islam, where I've learned so many things that I did was, maybe sometimes I learned that some people don't move their lips. I mean, I always moved my lips, but I learned that if you don't move your lips in the salah, that your salah basically is invalid. And then I learned so many things that make the salah invalid. I learned some mistakes that I did either in wudu or in my recitation of the Quran. So many things about the deen that you learn, the hadith. Someone would come out with a hadith that we never heard before, and I'm like, wow. I would have never heard it because I'm not picking up the Bukhari and the Sahih Muslim. And I picked it up from social media. And that's why I really want to do this. Like, I'm ready to commit. I'm a person who's lazy sometimes, who is not very consistent, but I like to commit to something. And that's why I wanted to.
So tell me, at least you said you started talking about how I mean we're trying to limit it to. I'm making it as an issue upon myself, to really finish and to get my target, and to be really beneficial to myself and to everybody around me within this limited time, because as you said, the people's lives, how do you call it, attention span. I mean, we are in the rush all the time, but you're trying to give at least a good little meal, a little exactly. Yeah. It's a worthy, at least I can really at least sustain me till the morning or overnight, or I can do something about it, or I can teach my children, or I can remind my children.
It's digestible and people can take action on. That's short form content is becoming super common. So common, to the point where YouTube right now is going to start competing with TV shows like Max, like MSNBC, and all these platforms. YouTube is allowing creators like me and you, short form or long form creators, to compete with streaming platforms, because you have something they don't have: authenticity. People want to watch something who's authentic. And it's unfortunate that people are so consuming so much content, but if that's the case, then why not we help people?
Good.
Yeah, like Dr. Zakir Naik, I mean, you see his content everywhere, you see his videos everywhere. And if you could just, you're not change someone's life, but if you could plant a seed, if you could plant a seed where in the back of their mind, this question is always pushing them to look for an answer. That's good enough. That's good enough, to be honest with you.
I have mentioned this many times, that my background, I'm a farmer. I was the last child of my parents. And the difference between the age of me and my dad was almost, I think, 78 years old. He got me when he was 76, 78. But I was most, may Allah have mercy on his soul, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me among those who will see him in Jannah, Ya Rabbi, and may Allah make me a sadaqah jariyah for him. But I have learned so much from him. Being with him, I remember like I would go with him to all the his farms, and he's doing inab, and he's doing zaytun there, and he's doing tea there, and he's doing zara and qamah and wheat, and so I try. I mean, I go with him. I was like let's put it this way. I imagine myself, even with a huge difference. And I imagine myself like when I actually was reading more about Anas radiallahu anhu, how he was with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I can imagine myself, but in a little way, like there is a huge difference between, of course, Anas and me, and there is no comparison between my dad but I was that to my dad. I was like his little boy.
Yes.
And do this and do that, and I would ask him, and I sometimes, I'd say, I would tell him, how about this? But he was like, subhanAllah, despite the age difference, he was the best of teacher. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with him. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on his soul. And sometimes I would tell him, how about if we do it this way? And he teach me one huge lesson. I always, like I have mentioned it many times to my children, and sometimes I mention it in my talks. And he says, let me tell you something. It get ruined with my way better than it get fixed with your way. I am the one with the experience. If I tell you do it this way, then do it this way, because this we're talking about now experience. Of course, like you later on you can see, of course, like his statement is not fully truth, but I'm just saying like it has a lot of truth, like the truth of experience, the wisdom exactly, and so I love the issue of seeds. For me, this is how I took at least I try to think of my life. More and more, I'm a seed planter. And the good thing is that you plant the seed with the intention, inshallah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, if it dies, and it did not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the reward as if it did. And if it produces, some of these seeds, you never get to know what they have done. And sometimes I've seen like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends your way to show you even seeds that you even did not even imagine that was you really you forgot all about it. And then all of a sudden someone comes in your way, and you say, I remember you one time, like I was talking to somebody. I said like your face is familiar. And he said to me, I actually, you come to us in Galons, you give the khutab there. I said, okay. And he said, actually, I still have the app. I said, what app? He said, you said in that one khutbah, the Quran Majid. I use it on a daily basis. My wife is using it. And believe it or not, you don't understand how much I got changed because of this Quran Majid. I was shocked. I was talking to my wife, and I said, she was saying, like, this is like something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends your way in to give you, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, تِلْكَ عَاجِلُ بُشْرَ الْمُؤْمِنِ. You know, this is like a bushra from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show you that even seeds that you're not even thinking about, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making them flourishing somewhere, and some people are benefiting from it that you have no idea. And that's why it in confirmation with what the Prophet ﷺ says, like on the Day of Judgment, people will come and they will say, all this hasanat is yours, and you say, how did I didn't make it? And this is how, again, how the seeds, and I love that.
And I need to tell you something. And I had a major kind of life crisis when I think you mentioned something the other day as well. That's another thing that relates to it. And I imagine myself in front of Allah, and I have millions you said something about your book has 90,000 pages. Every page is like, you said something about that. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I was imagining all my sins, all my bad deeds being miles and miles and miles long. And I'm like, how can I keep up with all these sins? I'm not doing enough to keep up with the sins that we're committing on a daily basis. And I need those 99,000 books, or every page, I need that to be filled like at least 70% of that good deeds, rather than 70% bad deeds and then 30% good deeds. Like, I need as much good deeds as possible. And that's why I think if we do as much content possible, like I'm talking dedicating as much of my life to content, to spread it and be in front of people's faces, saying something positive about Islam, spreading the word of Allah. A lot of Westerners, they click with Islam. Even though they don't like it, they click. I had my brother-in-law, he's a white guy, he's even racist against Muslims, but like I hear him saying to his sister, my wife, like, these guys have it right. I mean, even though he hates us, but he's like, these guys have it right. They know exactly what they're doing, and
they figured it out.
Yeah, so they know the truth.
Their fitrah.
Yeah.
Their fitrah. Some of them, especially the young ones, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this fitrah in every human being, even in those people who are very far away.
Yes.
And subhanallah, the fitrah can identify the haqq. They know, you could be the biggest liar. You hate liars.
Yes.
You love the truthful person.
Absolutely.
You can be the biggest liar,
Absolutely.
yet you love the truthful people.
Yes.
You know lying is not good. So your fitrah, by knowing, even if you are متلبس بالموضوع. The
right.
The something that you triggered about, like this, like we all in that boat, by the way. We all in this boat, like we have an issue with our intentions.
Yes.
We have an issues with our deeds. We have an issues with what we say. Yes. And this is like I was talking to, as I told you, like he's my master group mentor that I really look up to his opinion. So I was discussing the issue with, I told him, like, I'm very apprehensive if I will go online, my intention and this and that. And he said, let me tell you something. If you have an issue with your intention with the people around you, with the 5 or 2 people around you, if you have an issue with that, then you will have an issue with the other one.
Yeah, you have issues with
so go with what you believe is haqq, trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and do what you believe is right, and continue to work with your intention. Continue to be very critical of your intention. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it was like a good thing that
I heard something. You're actually being selfish for not sharing your knowledge. You're being so selfish because you have the knowledge. You have not you personally, but a lot of people that don't post videos about what they have, they're being selfish. They could really unlock a huge problem for someone else.
I am with that. I am totally agreeing with you.
There's multiple reasons for that. That selfishness is one, for sure. But having knowledge is not enough. You need to be able to express that knowledge.
And this guy is great for the job.
You need to be able to share that knowledge. You need to be able to connect with people,
Yes.
That the intention should be. I've known people, they've read multiple books. It's all stored here. They die, khalas, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's just a waste.
Yeah.
your intention should be, if you know a word, share it, right?
Yes.
And
I'm totally with you, and I'm so much in. I mean, I'm in tune with what we at least like we're thinking about.
Yeah.
That I say, Ya Allah, at least we're struggling to, because you gotta fight.
Yeah.
You gotta fight. If the Prophet ﷺ says, like, send, even if you don't know anything in your deen, you're so ignorant that you only know one ayah, go and deliver it.
Yeah.
And if you see the Prophet ﷺ Sahaba, which is, I mean, for me, when I speak to them, because I can identify with our faults, because the Prophet, when we talk about the Prophet ﷺ, everybody surrender. This is a choice and from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we become like a little bit, but when we talk about like, when I remember like the story of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and that he was in Yemen. Where is Yemen? And he was in Daus, and the one who brought him to Islam is At-Tufayl ibn Amr, the one who we said like the story of, he put like he came to on the 7th year of Al-Bi'tha, after the Prophet ﷺ was given Bi'tha, not the Hijrah, and he was in Mecca, and they were giving him hard time. Very few people very few people have declared their animosity. They start mocking him, harming the Sahaba, you name it. And they have reached the point to tell him, put something in, not put, but don't listen to this guy. So he said, like, I'm a poet. And I start putting like this cotton in my ears. And we talked about this story a little bit briefly. And so, then I said, like, you dumb guy. You're a poet. Who is he? Who is this man that they're talking about that he's gonna somehow magically influence? You know what to do. You can figure out what's the poet, what's.
Who's that again?
This is At-Tufayl ibn Amr al-Dawsi.
Okay.
So I came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he was sitting near the Kaaba, and I asked him, I told him, your people have told me, I'm from Yemen, and your people have told me that don't listen to you because you are this and that, and I'm going to be influenced. Can you tell me what you, but I want to listen to what you say. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said this, only this word, and this, you hear it, by the way, but it's so magical. It is so magical. Even though to the non-Muslim nowadays, even till the day of judgment, when I start, I have learned it long time ago, and I never really understood this portion of the story associated with these two words from the Prophet ﷺ. But now you can see the magnificence of just a one sentence. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. من يهدي الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلا هادي له.
What does that mean?
He says, because he told him to speak, and he said, okay, the Prophet start now, and he said, Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. All the thanks are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine that Amr ibn Tufayl al-Dawsi, he never heard this. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu, I give him hamd. Nahmaduhu wa asta'inuhu, and I ask him to help me. Wa asta'inuhu wa astaghfiruhu, and I seek his forgiveness. Man yahdi Allahu, whoever Allah guides, fala mudilla lah. Man yahdi Allahu fahuwa, no, whoever Allah give guidance, he is the guided one. Wa man yudlil fala hadiya lah. And the one who choose misguidance, he will not be guided. وَمَنْ يُضْلِلْ, it's your issue. It's your choosing. It's your choosing.
You chose.
Because there is actually a big subject, because there is a lot of misconception. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيُضِلُّ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Now when you collect all that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about those who choosing, and in so many ayat, it's about Allah giving you the choice, Allah giving you the choice, Allah. But when you choose other than misguidance, then Allah will let you go with your misguidance. But Allah give you the two. So anyway, so I'm giving this. So he said to me, and then he said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as soon as he only said that, he did not talk. He said, A'id, say that again. What do you say? Usually, Dr. Ahmed say it in the morning. What did he say? He say it in Urdu. Dubara. So he was telling the Prophet ﷺ, yeah, no, I. Then the Prophet ﷺ said the same thing. Two words. He did not even start his speech. Then again, so after the Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, after he died, he said, I invite you for Islam. And he recited to me the Quran, and I know what poet is. I know what magicians are. I know what these people are. I have seen it all. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he said, I believe in your message. What should I do? I stick with you? He said, no, go back to your people. Whenever you hear that I am the heart, meaning like you already start hearing that I have like
Show myself.
the heart, يعني meaning like I was giving تمكين. شو يعني giving تمكين يعني؟
steadfastness.
يعني إنه صار عنده دولة يعني. إنه
established authority.
Whenever you hear like there was an authority have been established for me, then come. So this man in Yemen who met the Prophet ﷺ once, he goes to his people, and he was one of their leaders, and he gave dawah to people of Daws in Yemen. After the battle of Uhud, which is the third year of Al-Hijrah, he came with 80 families from Yemen, Muhajirun, and they became part of the people of Medina. Now Abu Huraira he is from Ad-Daws. He came on the 7th year of Al-Hijrah, which is 4 years before the death of Prophet. But I'm just saying the 4 years of the growth of Abu Huraira, who was a homeless by our standard nowadays. He had nothing. He said like, I would go around with the Prophet. I don't care about anything other than just filling my stomach and not fall down on the floor. That's all I do, and I stick to the Prophet ﷺ. That in the later on, يعني يغبطه الصحابة. They were kind of like not in an envy way, but like they were happy for him that he gave up everything, but how wealthy he has become from the being with the Prophet ﷺ. And I'm just saying like later on, Abu Huraira was influenced, and he was surrounded by over 800 students of the Tabi'een, of the Sahaba, learning from the knowledge that he was with the Prophet. He became like the richest, if you look at it. Like this is a huge richness, more than anybody wealth that you can think. And then he, radiallahu anhu, has related in many books of the hadith, more than 5,000 hadith. And I'm just saying this, radiallahu anhu, he's teaching the Muslim till the day of judgment, the hadith that he have seen with the Prophet ﷺ, that nobody else other than. But he himself was a seed of Al-Tufayl ibn Amr al-Daws. To me, this is like mind-boggling. And I say, how can you reach out to become even like at least some of you would love to be with these people in Jannah? Sure. But how about if you struggle, like do a little bit of struggle like these people did?
Yes.
And how much we held up on our comfort and our comfort zone. So the fact that we're getting out of our comfort zone, at least I'm talking about myself, to come and we're going to try something to really get something going, even if it fails. At least, even if I die tomorrow, at least, let's say, I'm at least happy that I took a step to talk to you and to at least hoping that we can do something that we can benefit, most importantly, ourselves, because at the end of the day, the farmer, he is the one who's benefited the most from the seeds that he does.
And I think that's the shaitan also telling you that, oh, you're doing it for the fame. You're not doing it for the sake of Allah, to get you to stop.
No, it's just like I'm trying to be very concerned, and I'm very well aware of it.
But
go ahead.
Can I tell you guys?
Please.
My journey.
Please.
It's not my journey. I want to tell you. It might put some seeds in your mind.
Sure.
Nothing great from my side. So this started like 12 years ago, and I.
Come closer to me.
Do you want to get closer and? You want to turn this light off? This one. There's one there. That one. Yep.
Might be after another one. Yep. So,
Come closer right here.
oh, is this getting published?
I don't
No,
know.
we're just
Inshallah.
we're just
It's, I don't
yeah.
care. So, about 12 years ago, I think, I got sick and I went through a surgery. Small surgery, which limited my movement. I was on the bed. And luckily, we had Wi Fi and YouTube was already on. So I would